Check, check. Mic check. Mic check. Check, check. Okay, check. So you can hear me now. Check. Perfect. It's been a rough last days. Every day a different problem. I bet now you can hear me. Okay. Okay, I will test again in a while. As I was saying, let me repeat myself. So you see, I do this check for a reason. Actually, it's needed. Let's start the game, and then I go and check again the microphone, and I will explain again what I was saying. This is the game, of course. Elite Dangerous. As I was saying, I think you didn't hear me. I was saying yesterday it didn't work. There were some technical problems. Well, actually, the only problem being that they had to put the server into maintenance just as I came online. Like 10 minutes later. Dangerous. As I was saying, yeah, we have the audio, perfect. Okay, and it cannot be happening 2 days in a row, no? It would be absurd. These days I wouldn't even discount it. I've been having the craziest problems all the time. Is it a bit dark? No, you can see me. Okay, it's just that the index camera cannot see that well. I will show off that function later, once we have more lighting in the room. I also had to go for a different browser to display the chat down there, because that was also broken. Everything is broken these days. Yesterday I was angry like you wouldn't believe. Also in the afternoon I went and intended to play Onward, but it didn't work because I was in Windows test mode, a function that I use from time to time, and that apparently blocked the anti-chat, thus forcing me to play a different game. Again, nothing works. Ever. But I do remember this thing, It's always been like this with VR. It's a bit unwieldy to make it work properly. And now that I stream it's even harder, of course. Streaming makes everything harder. Also on the system itself, because it's so taxing for your components. My temperature is always high. Look at this, already 84 degrees. We didn't even start. Yesterday I had undertaken a Destroy the Pirates mission, which could be interesting, but let's see also what they offer on this station. So, combat mission, of course, because I want to show off the Federal Corvette. Would be crazy for me not to. And what for job? Well, this make you wanted. I wouldn't do it yet, then we would have maybe to move somewhere else, and I prefer not to. The assassination missions are potentially interesting, but difficult, especially if they are... Well, this doesn't pay anything. 72 ships, too many. Massacre, transport group ships, 32 ships. In theory, it's doable, but it doesn't pay that well. 8,063 ships. I don't think I have a good enough reputation with this guy to do a good mission. Whereas the one I chose yesterday, 36 pirates, 4 millions is good. And it brings me to the BD-02, well, sound system. 3 jumps away, because this ship jumps less, being an heavier and more powerful ship. And what's the situation here? Okay, the weapons... I remember this loadout. I had switched it last time I played. Am I carrying also a crew member? No, then I'll have to take one. The crew member mounts your fighters. And also your turrets, if you have them, but I don't have them on the ship. And crew lounge, yeah. I think I'll pick the one that is competent, yeah, because it takes less of a cut from my earnings. And what else? Let me see, one last thing. If we have the community objectives going in the vicinity, the community goals they're called. Now, if you don't play this game, you might not know. It's actually a function that is very interesting, but lately they've not been doing them. I don't know why. It's a shame. It's what brought the community together most of all, because everyone came to the same system to attempt and pursue a common goal. And used to make from some fairly interesting emergent gameplay situation, but apparently they're not even trying anymore to do it. It's a shame, really, because this game used to have a very, very crowded community, and lately it's been dwindling more and more for various reasons. In VR is excellent. Probably one of the best optimized and more fun games to play. Now we're taking off from this session. Let me move the wheel a bit upwards, lest I risk. Okay, this is better. And bam, bam. Okay, I always bump this way and that. After all, it's a military ship. It's not going to get damaged very easily. And off we go. The mission I had chosen consists of killing a certain faction, the shits of the faction. I see I have some reprojection. When is my refresh rate? 90 Hz. I think I'll have to lower it because of the streaming, you see. Okay. Because these kind of games look horrible with reprojection. You see everything double. So everything is set correctly. Let's jump to the next system. We will have to do, I think, 3 jumps into hyperspace to reach the place. 3 jumps, exactly. You can see how much fuel it takes from that screen there. Like hologram or whatever. But you can always replenish your fuel in flight in this game. It's a very important functionality of the sheets. They actually scoop the hydrogen straight from the stars. Well, that is if the star allows for it, and this is not one of the kinds that do. The purple one don't. Now I should use probably the correct name for it. Should it be a brown dwarf, I think? I don't know. We're going very fast. It's already past me. So let's jump to the next star. I have plenty of fuel in any case. And engaging. 13 light years from the place. Hey James! Yeah, I bought it some times ago. Took quite a bit of grinding. I played like 1000 hours with this thing on the Oculus. I used to have the Oculus before this. And this was my absolute favorite game for it. For like 1 year or more. Played all the time. Wearing no socks is a fatal ability. Many consider another. James, you're not the first one to tell me that. There is a guy actually that comes to the stream every day and is quite annoyed by the fact. I see you at least take it with good humor. It seems to be a very heartfelt thing, this one with the socks. Personally, I've never played in any other way, just without socks, whether it's winter or summer. Sometimes I also drive the car without socks. But you're not the first one to point at the fact that it's a bit unnatural. You will have to get an habit of it if you come to watch the stream again, because, as I said, I also like to show the pedals, you see. The point is, people should actually look at the pedals, but they look at the feet. It's a bit like the famous proverb, no? You point at the sun, they watch the thing. I best not digress too much. We are now in the system of interest. I've undertaken a squadron mission because the Corvette can easily handle them. And I used to do them quite a bit and earn a lot from it actually. Especially now that the massacre missions are much easier to undertake thanks to the scanner, no? The new scanner function that lets you find the points of interest that this wasn't in the game originally. And now it's much better to do these things. Takes less. Let me refuel a bit, even though we're not going to jump farther into hyperspace, so who cares? As you see, my scanners already detected one of the targets. Actually, many of the targets. What is this? Let me see. We have some filter, yeah. The closest one is at only 201 light seconds, which will reach it in a second. Light second, well actually in 190 light second. Now, do you know the trick about slowing down in this game? It can be unwieldy at first. People overshoot the targets all the time. Actually, there is an easy way. When you see that it says 10 seconds to the target, you press a button that puts your throttle to 75%. And then the ship basically slows down by itself. It never fails. It's better than the autopilot for it. You just put it in 75%. It scales like in a logarithmic way and brings you down to the speed that you need as soon as you need it, and you stop perfectly at the target. I wish I knew this in the beginning. I used to overshoot things all the time. Even with the throttle, it's not easy to slow down properly. Wow, look at this. What is this? A big ringed planet. Ah, yeah, I was here just yesterday when the server went down. I went on the rings and tried to destroy, but I was in the Federal. And the Federal is a bit underwhelming to me now. I wonder why. Must have been the thousands of hours I passed inside this cockpit. I have 1 billion credits. Well, I wish I had 1 billion credits. to one of the wing mission exploit bugs a while back, but I will still have to grind Fed rank. Yeah, it's the rank that kills you, it's the rank. In the end, everyone does the grinding in some ways or another. It's just too long, unless you use a technique of some kind. Okay, wait. Ooh, they're all yellow. Look at this. Okay. Deploy the wingman. Ah, by the way, gents, if you want to come and pilot my fighter, it would be my honor, and I extend also the invitation to the entire public of the stream. This is a game where you have multi-crew, and actually it's very fun to do multi-crew. If any of you wants to come or even form a squadron, it would be my honor, really. Or should I say a squad? So where are the targets? It's supposed to be surrounded by targets, but actually I see a lot of innocent ships. This is a Federal dropship. This can take you off guard. The Federal dropship is supposed to be a bad ship, but actually they can be strong. You'll see. Let's start to shoot him. Not telling him anything in advance, after all this is a very dirty pirate that has to die, and I get paid for it, so it's not like we can do anything else with him. Turning off flight assist because I want to go sliding like I'm living in the 90s, but I did that joke already yesterday. I best not repeat myself. What is that? It's my fighter. They changed the icon for it. They constantly upgrading this game, huh? Not very significant updates, but many things change. And every time you come back to it, you see some difference. Very spectacular with the wing over there with all its span. As you see, gents, I'm using incendiary ammo for my multi-cannons. They're very effective because they're thermal, and this means they really deplete the shields of the enemy. Can fly now. Gotta go to a job interview. No, really, man. Good luck. I wish you had to. In VR, this game is great. Good luck with your job interview, man. I remember when I took them all the time. It's very stressful. It's very stressful to do job interviews. This is an enemy, right? Yeah. Okay. And the others are all friendlies, I think. Okay. Let's recover our fighter, but I will do the most spectacular thing. I just ordered the parts for a new PC. I pick everything. No, really? Really? What did you get? I bet you could run VR with it then. It takes a fairly beefy PC. Request dock with the mothership. Personally, you know what? Well, but you already bought the PC, I better not say. Did you get it, an Intel or a Ryzen chip? Because I think the Ryzen CPUs are better for VR personally. Well, especially if you also intend to stream it, but that's more of a personal thing. As you can see, guys, now I'm inside the fighter, and I'm going to land back into my mothership. But actually, the pilot that I left in the mothership is a bit of an idiot because he can't hold it straight. So I started to think that maybe I should do the opposite. Yeah, well, I'm coming a bit, yeah. What a doggy. Yeah, you did the right thing, man. You did the right thing. The reason is better, in my opinion, for VR. Especially if you're running a lot of overlays, like I am. Because they multitask better as processors. At least this is the impression I gather from it. Okay, I think we destroyed all the targets in this zone. No, wait, they're shooting still. What is that? I see they're shooting. I think the enemy should be that smallish thing there. Hurry up, or they will steal your kill. It's him. It's tiny, but who cares? As long as it counts for the mission, I will shoot him. I had to kill like 30 of these things, so everything counts. Yeah. Really makes you feel in control when you're in one of the bigger shits. It's hella cool. And destroy. No, but it was quite a discovery for me yesterday when I went to Facebook and searched for groups of this game, because actually I found out that of all the games I play, surprisingly, this is maybe one of the one with the biggest community, even more so than War Thunder. There's a lot of groups dedicated to this game. I am coming from a GTX 1070. You're doing the same jump I did. The same jump. RTX to 28. Yeah, the 28 is the one that is more or less powerful like mine. I have the 1080 Ti that I bought last year, and I think the performance is kind of similar. Well, yours is better, of course. The reason is the same processor. Yeah, the same processor, yeah. I think it's over there, the box. Yeah, the 7, the Ryzen 7. And as I said, you will see what difference it makes. It's the exact same upgrade I did. With that system, in my opinion, it would be a waste not to get also a VR device. You should think about it. It really brings the gaming to a new level. There's already another on radar. 2000 light seconds. It might take a while, but not too much to reach. Now it says one day, but it will go down very soon as I accelerate. Ooh, someone is intercepting me. Look at that. It's a mission target with a Python. Well, I guess he's really looking for trouble. What do you want to do with a Python against a Federal Corvette? Deploy ship. Deploy starship. I mean fighter, because after all you never know, no? It's better to have all the help you can get, but this won't be a problem. Johannes Rudolph in his fearful Python named Blaze, no less. Well, man, if that is what you want, I guess you can have it from me. The afterlife is always looking for new pilots. Yeah, look at him die. We set him on fire good. And some more money for my money collection. Ooh, I switched to the fighter again. Actually, I didn't want to do it, but you know why? It looks fairly spectacular when I dock. Especially if I manage to dock like before. Might be difficult. Yeah. Stop it. It's a bit stupid, I ain't trying to dock here. It looks like a dogfight, actually. Yeah. No. This is totally the fault of the game, not of my idiocy. Okay. I think you do the docking then. Since you don't want to make me dock. Recall the file. So where did I put also the external views? I had a key for the external views. I think it was a combination of buttons. Like this plus this. No. Okay, I'm picking up the file in any case. 16 meters. And done. I could in theory check the loot that the enemy left behind, but it's generally worth not much. It depends on what you killed. It was a tiny ship, nothing of value. You can also find the pirates on the resource extraction sites. But in general, if you're looking for a faction in particular, it's better to go towards the objectives. Also, I think the objective is close to one of the pilots, right? Or one of the planets with wings. So, it's all good even more so. Let's go there. I see a slightly worse performance than I remember, you know. It's all in the yellow, actually. If you look at the diagnostic I have there, this is strange, might be because of the patch. Let's try to lower maybe just a bit the details. What was I using? VR high. You can easily go VR medium, makes no difference. Almost impossible to appreciate the difference, at least for me. And now it's in the green. It's very important to monitor your PC performance while you do VR, because if it starts to go too down in frame rate, you will end up with nausea and sickness. You have to be careful with that. And that's the reason I always keep the diagnostic there. The sound design of this game is also excellent. Have you heard that small zooming sound? That was a ship passing by. You can actually hear them as they move around you. I don't know how realistic that will be. There's supposed to be no sound in space. But still it's very convenient and not so cool sounding to boot. 1 minute to the target. Let me check everything. Okay. And that is it. Since today I haven't encountered technical problems yet, but I best not call them after this crazy hectic week. Well, in any case, it took me some tries to start VR, so Maybe I already paid the toll today. There was an upgrade for the VR, and then another thing, my sensor didn't start. No, this makes me worried. I had to reboot the sensor a couple of times, the one up there. And it isn't the first time it does it. I just got finally my index controller exchanged by Valve, that drifted like crazy, and now to see a possible problem with the sensor release disheartening. I hope it will never materialize, but honestly I'm starting to worry about it. Okay, we're coming to 90 light seconds from the target. But again I am interdicted by a Python. Well, I best destroy it. I mean, it's part of the mission objective, but I won't deploy the fighter this time, because first we don't need it, and second I best not lose too much time on this guy. Yeah. You might have noticed, yeah, it looks very much better now that I'm no longer reprojecting. You might notice that when I activate my weapon it says limit of the power plant has been surpassed, because actually I'm running my ship. This is something many players do in Elite Dangerous. I'm basically overloading my ship all the time, and I disable the non-necessary resistance when I enter combat. I have a priority list of the various systems here. Well, let's destroy the guy first. It actually turns off the unwanted ones automatically. Oh, it's trying to escape. Well, it's not going to escape anywhere. And in fact, he's dead already. Let's return back to the compression of space mode, whatever his name is. The FSD is called. Basically, it's this game's form of fast travel within the same system you are, because otherwise you just engage hyperspace. 60 light seconds now, we're coming to the target. Here it is. It's very cool to observe all the path of the planets, no? Some people like to disable it because it looks more realistic, but actually it's sort of an interactive horror that you can watch while you play. It's very cool to me. Why am I so fast? I think I arrived too fast due to the guy that interrupted my trip. Okay, go back to 75. No, but as you see, the 75 trick never fails. As long as you put the ship in 75% throttle, you will end up right on target. I hope I'm not missing messages from you guys. Yesterday I had some problems with it. I will make a test after this combat. I kill these guys, then I test the chat messages just in case I'm missing them. Please be patient with me, guys. I've had thousands of problems since the week began, of all kinds. Just the nature of VR and also streaming. Combine the two things, your life will get very complicated. Let's deploy the Taipan fighter just to be sure.
Solid copy. Deploying the fighter.
Deploying the fighter. Okay, this is already one of the mission targets.
Online. Ready for action.
You know, this is a kinda simple massacre mission, because the last time I did it, they attacked you all at the same time, and actually made for some pretty dangerous combat situation. Not that I lost in them, because with the Federal Corvette you obliterate anything. But still it scared me a couple of times. You should know, if you don't play this game, that the bigger your ship is, the more credits you lose should you be destroyed. And if I'm destroyed in this, I actually will go broke. I think I can more or less rebuy it just once, then I'm broke. I see something big. This is the Anaconda, the other big ship. James McKenna it is, in the Dogma. And he's a good guy. No, but why are you a good guy? Have you never felt the allure of piracy within the star fields of nothingness and whatever it is? Okay, also clean. Is everyone good? Why are they so yellow? That's uncommon. So I guess only the small ones are enemies. This is stupid. Do I have to hunt for tiny fleas and bugs all the time? Okay, it's time to escape. Shooting. I wouldn't even waste my ammo on that normally, but I guess it's all good for the mission. Tell you what, let's do it with the fighter. Let's see, we look a bit cooler.
Roger that. Control is mine.
Ah, Okay, it's working. I can see the messages now. Where did he go? Okay, bug, he had money from when wing mission at the bug, when they will give you about 20 million credits to each person if you were in a wing with others. Oh my god. Then this bug opened for a weekend, so I stayed awake for about 40 hours. Man, you're terrible. No, but I can understand it. I did something similar. To get the Federal Corvette, there was this stupid mission that everyone was exploiting. It's the only way you really progress in this game, otherwise it's not just long-winded, it's impossible. Once you start to do these things, actually you get the good shit. You get them in the end. And there was this mission, it was a simple courier mission, where you brought some data from a planet to another, and I did it like 100, I don't know, so many times. Again and again, it made me grind reputation to the point where I got the Corvette. It was actually the more recognized method from the community. No, I escaped from the community to achieve this kind of result. And the only one. I best do my interception with the big mothership, otherwise they're gonna escape.
I've got hands on the controls, Commander.
But I think they're all gone. What's the status of the mission? 6 of 36, okay, like this it will take a while. You know what, maybe I'll go now to one of the resource gathering zone. I might find some pirates there.
Got it. I'm on the way back, Commander.
Also, these objective zones are a bit underwhelming. As I told you, the other time I did this kind of mission, it was fairly hectic. You came into places where there were heaps of enemies, immediately hostile. Now, not as much. They just stand there and wait to be killed, with tiny ships to boot. So, go back.
Retrieval complete. Ship is locked down.
It's kind of showing a friendship gun. Ah, no, okay, it's referring to the one previously. Okay, what do we have close here? I'm looking for resource gathering zones. So, go to points of interest. There's a low hazardous. Unfortunately, this planet doesn't have the rings, so I'll have to go there. Basically where it was just a bit before. I won't take long. And did you know that this game has a radio also? With the newest...
Which head system
oh
designations
god.
updated?
But you see, there's only two pieces of news. Are they abandoning this game? Last time I looked at here, there were like 10, 11 different pieces of news. Now only 2. Which had system designation that's updated. And there are some Targoids. The Targoids are the aliens. This game also has alien ships. They're very hard and interesting to fight. We might try to do it later. If I can find them. It's not the easiest thing. In general, they are in the sector of the Pleiades, so they used to be. As I said, I haven't played in a while. Look at how cool it is, no? Because that planet has the orbit of the moons that are actually perpendicular to our path. So you can see them straight on. Whereas the other one, it's all very realistic. It's modeled like a real star system. They've done an excellent job from that point of view. And that alone, in my opinion, makes the game worth to be played. And also you should know that when you watch at this with VR, everything is in 3D. And it's the most amazing effect. By far. Now I am engineering an Imperial Courier, because it can be the second fastest small ship in the game. Mine has no weapons and can boost to about 800... My god. If I get interdicted, I just boost away and jump, nothing can get a shot in. That's a good strategy, man. I used to do that when I did my runs. I was a trader for the longest time with the Anaconda. And actually the Anaconda, once you engineer the engine, is very fast. And can go back into FSD like nothing, because no one can suppress something that big, or cannot suppress it much in any case. And so it was good. I was able to bring the goods without problems to target, always boosting away from the enemies. You're reminding me of that. And also I've heard good things about the Imperial Courier. No, actually I'm a Federal, as you noticed by my main ship. I didn't unlock almost anything from... Ah, there's a mission target there. Yeah, but they're boring. Let's go to the gathering zone. So, I haven't tried the ship. Never, if you can believe it. As the small fighter, I only have the what's his name? The one with the two big hard points, no? The one everyone gets. Oh my god, I don't remember anything. What was the name of that very popular fighter? From the, I guess you know what it is. Let's slow down. Now coming to the resource extraction side. The hazardous ones in general have the bigger ships. It could make for an interesting stretch of stream. Let's go if I can find something of value. It's a fun fighter because the calculate canopy is completely open. It's one of the coolest things also when you play in VR is coming inside the ships for the first time. Discovering the space you have, no? For instance, the big ships, they're actually huge. And you should know, and I will show you, now as soon as I come out of hyperspace, that in VR, actually, you have a bit of space legs. You can get around your ship. And it's the coolest thing, the coolest fucking thing. And the first times when I did it, when you're moving through space, going towards a destination, and you walk around the ships, it brings you inside the game like nothing else. I will show you, wait. Let me reach the target. I love to do the thing. I loved it. And now I still do it from time to time. And when you get a new ship, it's like you buy a new environment to be in, a new environment where you play. Really gives a different dimension to the game. This is the kind of planet rings that does the poop-colored asteroid. So no, as I was saying, look at this. You can walk around the ship in VR. Actually, you're supposed to lower. Unfortunately, my room isn't as big. Also, my body is still there. Only the head is moving, actually. But you can look at a lot of things. And also bump your head on the wheel. So maybe I best not do it too much, actually. But it's a cool feeling. You can get an excellent feel of the size of the thing. And also you can easily pilot it, no? While you do this. It's a bit... it makes you a bit ditzy. But it's very cool. Just a trick. Just a trick. You can make an Imperial Eagle faster, though. But to engineer that... No, I want to make you a question. I want to ask you a question. To engineer that, isn't it terribly annoying? Because ultimately, when you're engineering, you have to fly all the way around the galaxy. And these are ships that don't have a very long boosting ability. I mean, jumping distance. You know what? I look for enemies inside the fighter. Also the fighter, no? Mind you. It's very cool. The inside of the fighter is so claustrophobic. When you play in VR, everything has a different dimension. Okay, this isn't even a pilot, actually. I think I can see better with the view like this. Federal dropship. Let's see if it's a buddy. Actually, yes. And also there's two of them. So let's tell the mothership to attack.
Copy that. Let's take this one down.
Now we will fight the Federal dropship. Actually, the fighter doesn't do much damage, but in the time it adds up. And in the end, the fighter can really do a lot of damage. Here's my mothership, all high and mighty. I will have to keep an eye on its shield, because it's a bit dangerous what I'm doing, to stay in the fighter while the NPC pilots the mothership. As soon as I see the shields go down, I'll go back to it. It looks so damn cool to watch it from that side, though. Look at this. Wow, it doesn't even lose 1/3 of its shields, even though it's under fire from two different dropships. So you know, the dropships actually, these tiny things there, are fairly heavily armed. It's easy to underestimate these ships. They actually can wreck you very well. I think you should use ship transfer to get more ships near the engineers. That's a good idea, man. Yeah, I think it's the only way you can do that thing efficiently. Because otherwise it would take ages. You can also target specific subsystems of the ship, or you could if I didn't press the button wrong. Like you can choose to destroy... But wait, I best return to the mothership, because this guy is completely ineffective. So I'm firing my shield cells to recharge. I overheated a bit, but now I also dropped my, what's his name, the heatsink, which is essential. Temperature is always a problem in this game. You have to keep it under control, otherwise you can damage your ship really bad. Okay. The first one is almost dead. Yeah, the NPC cannot do anything. For him to not be able to destroy these things by himself inside the Federal Corvette is absurd. Almost dead. Also, the railgun I'm using actually are very warm. They can warm your ship in a second. Ah, here's an Imperial Courier. This is the ship you was talking about. Yeah, it looks fairly cool indeed. I have to buy me one of these. It's a big oversight of mine not to have tried it yet. And I always fly the big thing. The thing is, once you get used to fighting this, you're no longer good in fighting in anything else. I went back the other day to the Ferdinand and I used to do a lot of stuff with that thing. Now it sucks to me, it feels so underpowered. I can no longer use it. Once you go big, you never go back, no? Maybe this is a dangerous sentence, it can be taken wrong. I best not use it, so... Kill another couple of targets, well, it will still take a while, I bet. Only 8:36. I see some contacts over there, let's go. Let's go. Unfortunately, I'm again in the yellow, performance-wise. Because of all these space rocks floating about, maybe I should lower the details again. As I said, in VR it's the most important thing, to keep your details at the right... well, okay. I can even go VR low, I don't care. As long as it runs well. This is the most important thing. Won't make much difference in any case. I cannot appreciate the difference. Also, in performance it didn't do any difference. I remember having a few bad experiences trying to get creds at the beginning. Falling asleep halfway through. Yeah, indeed. A 50 jump passenger mission, running into a star and waking up a rebuy screen. No, for me the big discovery in terms of credits gathering was the trading. If you use the tools you have available online, namely that site, what's its name? ADDB, I think. The one with the database of the prices for each system, you can make a lot of money in a very short time. Once I discovered that, I used to make most of my money through the community goals. But actually, these are very little quantity of credits compared to what you can do with trading. Once you get the bigger ships, and if you explore the true opportunities you can find through ADDB and similar sites, you can make millions and millions in like a matter of hours. Actually, I should maybe eventually go back to doing just that. This is just wanted, but not one. This is the ship I was speaking earlier about, the small fighter I use quite a bit, the Vulture. But I have stopped playing for now. I finally ran out of things to do. That's also true. Unfortunately, it's a game that you play in bars. Sometimes you get into it, you play all the time, then after a while you tend to get bored. Because, yeah, it's true there are many different things to do, but ultimately each of these is fairly repetitive. So either you manage to find your own fun, so to say, but sometimes it's just not possible. It's a game you return to from time to time. It's got its moments, certainly. The graphic is amazing, but the most amazing thing is the game universe, the way you can explore it and find interesting things in it. It's full of surprises in that regard. Let's eliminate. No, it's like using the vacuum cleaner at home. You tend to remove all the dirt. There is a bit too many pirates in this place. Also, when I go to the main space station of the system to resupply, they will love me after I've done this. And that will give internals access to better mission. And most of all, missions that pay better. Well, there is nothing of value here, it seems. Let's point at the objective again. Sometimes I do it. Because in theory, the ships should stay around the objective, no? tell you what, I'll do it with the fighter. It will be faster. And killing money hopefully will come back when Carners? Ah no, carriers, okay. Excuse me. It's a bit garbage, the text. When field carriers come out. But the field carriers are something that the big squadrons buy, right? You cannot own it as a single player, or can you? Because in theory it's a very interesting function, but I suspect it won't mean much for the average player. And that's the problem with most of the most advanced functions of this game. They're very specific and tend to get abandoned after a while. Defiant Pandemic, by the name of it, it's evil. I would have sworn it. I'll attract his attention with the fighters, so the mothership in theory can deal the finishing blow. Give also him the order. Attack target. Should get a one on scanner if you go anti. No, I know, you're right. Actually, I didn't think of doing this. Originally I wanted to do just the mission. You're right. Sometimes it's annoying to go and set all the things in the ship, but of course that would be the best thing to do, a best practice, so to say. I just was very eager to get into... Let's try to destroy the power plant since I'm using a tiny fighter. Actually, you can target certain modules of the enemy ship, and it can assist you a great deal in bringing them down earlier, but you have to get close for it. Now I'm pointing at the generator and trying to get close enough to hit it. Let's see if I can manage. But wait a second, why am I not moving? I'm going backwards. Look at the NPC. He cannot even kill a Python in a Federal Corvette. They really suck. Only times they're good is when they're in the enemy ships. Okay, it's going down. I damaged the power plant just a bit, not really was needed. We completely obliterated the entire ship. And I see another thing there. Wanted, okay, go for it. Of course you have to tell that guy to attack, because otherwise he won't do it.
Understood. Focusing my fire on your target.
Yeah. You know what would be cool also to do during the stream? I'll try to look for a war zone. I want to show you the big battles of the game. They've made this much more interesting recently by the addition of objectives inside of the... Ah, look at this. Remove this group of targets. Ah, he wants me to go and kill civilians instead. Well, that would make me want it, though. I'll have to think about it, wait. First of all, let's destroy this thing, but I'll do it from the mothership because he's an idiot and he's not doing his job properly. Let's not waste too much time on it. Yeah. Here's some railgun to brighten your day. Actually, ramming is a true, genuine technique in this game. And one of the few times I did PvP with this huge ship, I got killed from ramming. There are some people that are very good at it. Actually, I've heard that the big passenger ship, what's its name, the Orca, can be used just for that in player versus player battles. It's very effective as a rammer. And that's the kind of things that we knew battles in this game, having the correct knowledge. It's not the most balanced game in PvP terms, so there are some weapons that are just more effective than the others. You try to fight fair and square, you will lose, and you will lose the credits too. That's a damn shame, This is a game with huge PvP potential, but the way it is structured, you either go to the separate mode for it that is always deserted, no one plays it basically, or if you do in the actual game world, the way it's meant to be, you risk losing a lot of credits. It costs so much to die in this game. I'm just now noticing I also put cannons on this ship, I didn't even remember. I wonder if they're engineered, probably not. I know. You overheat very easily with these cannons. The incendiary variety. They generate a lot of temperature. Running low on shields, huh? Time to snipe. Well, this is a very warm loadout. To use incendiary multi-cannons together with railguns, you best pace yourself. You can overreach your ship very easily. I know, don't worry. You have to overheat it quite a bit more before you start. No, I regenerated the shields. Wants to waste our time, this guy. Why am I staying so far? I was actually in rear gear, that's a bit embarrassing. And now you're there. Okay. What else do we have around here? Nothing of value. Nothing of value. They're shooting there, though. How's the situation with the mission? 10:36. It will be a fairly long mission. Another thing I want to do is going down to a planet. I want to show you how I can pilot the car with the wheel. It's the coolest thing. You have everything you need on this setup. Very convenient. Tell you what, I'll use a shield recharge cell. No, I don't remember which the specific button it is. No, I use the heatsink. And now I'm recharging the shield. What was that sound? Did I get disconnected? Hey, I think my stream disconnected. Connection error. Error code Mauvader. I hope I'm still streaming. I don't know what happened actually. It's the usual thing. Good thing I wasn't in combat. Okay, let me see if I'm still streaming, but I think so. There shouldn't be problems in that regard. But actually there are. Check. Stream check. I think yeah, I got disconnected. Please be patient 1 second. No, it will work. Okay. I have experience with this problem. It's my provider that constantly does this. So, what was the secondary mission I got assigned to? Commander Zarrelok. Remove this group of targets from a radar operation. 12 civilians gives me 3.5 million. But is that in addition to what I'm already getting? Oh god, again. I reconnect. Good thing this game doesn't really make it a big deal if you get disconnected briefly. Some others you lose a lot of stuff. It actually pays more to kill the pirates, so why should I go for the civilian? Also, the fact that I got disconnected handily reset the entire spawn box for the area, so we will have more targets. So thank you for disconnecting, internet provider. You best make it good. My god, this entire week it's been doing it. An entire week of problems. Now I understand why people never stream VR games. It's already hard enough to run them. To even stream them, even worse. Not a problem to bring down the Python, just because it's not one of the targets though, huh? I'm again low on shields, so maybe it didn't work because I got disconnected, so let's fire a shield cell. And relative heatsink, because this thing generates a lot of heat and you best do it the correct way, you risk breaking the models otherwise. And bam, running to hell and back. Overreading again, but it's dead. Okay, let's look for the actual targets I need.
We're in the clear, Commander.
This guy has a ship named Wirnpa. Hard to tell if good or bad. Usually you can tell it's a pirate by the ship's name, but what does Wirnpa mean? Okay, this is one of the mission targets, perfect. I enjoy fighting the Federal Lance. It's such a fast ship. Ba-ba-bam, ba-ba-bam. Now doing the power slide. And I think I will hit the asteroid, but No, okay, that was within the scope of possibilities, but luckily I didn't do it in the end. It really can hurt you to bump into things in this game. I've died because of it. Completely depletes your shield. And away it goes. What else do we have?
I think that's it, Commander. Scanning for additional threats.
Viper, Asp Scout, Unspeakable Spectre. That's an evil name if I've ever seen one. You want to be a pirate, just a pro tip, don't call your ship Unspeakable Spectre. That will attract attention. It's in a wing, but they also aren't part of the objective, so it seems stupid to go after them. Big waste of time. How's my ammo, by the way? Especially the multi-cannons. I'm not very high. 210 can seem like a lot of ammo, but for the multi-cannons it ain't. I can synthesize them, but I usually do that only if I'm in a big battle. It's not worth it for pirate hunting. So, tell you what, let's move up around. I don't want to stay here all the stream. Recalling the fighter.
Roger. On the way back now.
Where did they put the external view? I had a button for it. Maybe this. No, of course. This, that. Maybe on the wheel I put it. But I start pressing buttons at random. It's bound to be problematic. Okay. And the ship is in. Let's go.
Ready to depart, Commander.
Let's move about. And going back to the FSD space. Now this might come to some as a surprise if you're returning players like me, but actually they added a very handy... I don't even need it. I wanted to go and scan the systems with the new... what's his name? The scanner view, whatever, but actually I don't need it, because already it's detecting targets. And very close they are, very close indeed. Let's go there. Unidentified signal source, other side of the planet. You can faintly see the rings because we're parallel to their positioning. Here they are. No, actually it's another planet, okay. What's that? Progressive medical analysis. That's the situation with the mission. 11:36. Might take a while. I'm trying to find the external view. Maybe I should go to the option and check what button I set it to. Controls. It's the camera suite. Joy 2 plus Joy 7. And what is Joy 7? It's with the shift in any case. Too bad I don't remember what Joy 7 is. Maybe it's this. Ah, here it is. And to go free camera is this. Yeah, no, because I love using it during the stream. This game has such amazing views. And how was it? To make it descend? There was also some way to make it go faster, but I don't remember it. And this is the Federal Corvette. Wow. They look a bit like motorboats. Like very expensive motorboats. There was one design just like this in the 90s, I think. In any case, the design of these games are pretty good. Okay, we're almost there. What happened? Why did you slow down? Facebook is translating when you speak Italian? No, it's Italian, man. No, it's not translating. Do I sound like an automatic translation, man? Should I take offense? No, I speak English, the best of my ability. I hope I'm easy to understand. That's a funny idea. If a Facebook translator was this good, I would love it to be this good, actually. Everyone would understand me. I would have Russian viewers and Chinese viewers. Also, the observation about the Warren scanner was from Paulius. Excuse me, I didn't notice the name was different. Thank you for commenting also. It's Italian, it's Italian. There's also the little flag on the bottom right of the transmission, if you see it. Okay, mission target. This is a threat 3 mission target. Maybe it will be more interesting. Let's see. I like the one where they attack you at the same time, all the enemies. It makes for fairly spectacular fights. Today it seems like it's never like that. I won't even deploy the fighter. It's not needed. To fight one at a time is easy. But still it's good for the mission, so let's do it. No. Then I guess it's you. I'm scanning them, no? You point at them, you target them. Romulus Van Damme. Mission target. Yeah, I know, man. Don't worry. Bam! Just a little bump to brighten your day. Such spectacular vistas, no? This very thing that came up by pure chance to have the planet. Space is so damn cool. I wish we still had many space games. They used to be the norm. And they were one of my favorite genres. Space is the best environment to set a game if you think about it. What is even better than that? And yet, they no longer make them. The stupidest thing if you ask me. We need more space games, first, and second, more VR games. VR games set in space, we will never get, because when they make the space games, they don't support VR, and vice versa. Yeah. Easily dispatched. And now I'm almost out of ammo, and I tell you what, I'll go resupply, then we'll go to a different place, because I have more than one day to complete this mission, and I don't want to do it all stream. We can complete it in the next stream. I'm about halfway. Let's not bore ourselves with it further. I will go to the main space station of the system, resupply this ship, then we look for a different type of trouble, and bigger type of trouble also. I will go to a conflict zone. Conflict zone combat is one of the coolest things in this game, in my opinion. And also much more tension inducing. You will see if you don't play it. It's very cool. So now resupplying at the station that is very close actually, Burlag Dock. Just 0.13 light second. What a simple planet, just a white ball. This is a gas giant, of course. You can even read about its composition if you go to the relevant screen. Yeah, I guess so, gents. It has been subtitled in the Italian in English. You're speaking about a specific thing. No, I don't know anything about it then. That's cool. So when I speak Italian, it's actually subtitled in English. I love it, man. You're telling me something very cool. I took it wrong. You meant something different. We're coming from the back of the space station. This is also something that in VR gives you an amazing sense of scale. I don't know if you've ever read the series of science fiction novels from Iain and Banks, not The Culture, when he speaks about the huge habitats and different types of of starships in that kind of universe, and it really reminds you of that. The amazing size of these things. No, don't go automatic yet, it will be slow. And now discovering that my performance is quite hurt by the fact that I'm streaming. Actually, this used to go full frame rate, now not as much. But it's playable, I mean, and I'm just landing, what's the problem? Okay. Now, I still use the automatic landing autopilot, because it's so convenient when you... Not to do the entire maneuver, but when you come close to the landing pad, it's 10 times faster. You just put the throttle to 0, and the ship does everything by itself. And even if you do it perfectly, it will take you more. So this is a good advice. Do take the landing autopilot if you can. In my opinion, it's worth it.
Landing completed. Deploying ground crew.
I'm taking a very short break. I'll be right back, guys. Don't go away. Just a second. 30 seconds at most. And what is best about the VR thing, that this game actually never takes you out of the ship. You're always inside of the ship, and it looks very cool. Because you never have a cut of the action. It's always continuous, like you're really in it. It brings you into the action like you wouldn't believe. Okay, let's see what we have in terms. So, as you see, I'm a bit broke. 51 millions at this point of the game isn't much. So, combat. Assassinate known pirate. 1 million. We might do it later. Let's pick it. Massacre the raiders? No, not another massacre mission. Take down known pirate. You pay too little for me to do it. And all these aren't worth it, I think. Disable the emplacement. I would like to go down on a planet, so let's take also the disable emplacement ring. I'm offline, so the depth effect doesn't work for me. That's a shame, man. Yeah, of course, VR isn't excellent for you. VR is still amazing, and Elite is one of the best games for it. I agree wholeheartedly. This and also the plane flying game. I don't know if you play flight simulators of the more elastic kind. If you look at my page, I play them all the time. And actually, they're very cool to play in VR. You should try. Even just War Thunder, that is free, is an extremely cool game to play in VR. And also, best of all, you can play with everyone, not just the other people that have VR. This makes a lot of difference, because not many people have VR yet. Okay, now, as I said, I want to look for war. And there is a very handy way of doing it, that I will show you now if you don't know it. You have to filter... Wait, because I don't remember. I need the map, yeah, that's certain. And then I need to go... Allegiance. No, actually I wanted the state. That was the way, but I don't see it. This thing scrolls. Okay, state, perfect. And I will look, actually it's already done, only for places that have the civil war or the war state. Blight and natural disaster are new, I think. Ooh, there's a lot of new stuff. Infrastructure failure, drought, terrorist attack, public holiday. They're constantly upgrading this game, really. Even without VR, having played all versions like Frontier of Amiga, it's... you played on the Amiga, I did too. You know, I had this game on the Amiga. It was the same game. Well, of course, the graphic wasn't the same. Nor the complexity of it, but the thought was there, and for the time it was amazing. Okay, let's look for for systems that are in a state of war, as I selected there, but actually I don't see any in my immediate vicinity. I'm filtering the stars, you see, so you see only the paths but not the stars. Is it possible that we are in a fully peaceful sector of the galaxy? That would be a first. And actually, I'm afraid we are. There is no war of any kind here. Nothing. Try again. I am putting it on and off because I hope I can see the stars blinking, but actually this is a first. There is no war. And then no war it will be. Let's go to the planet, maybe we can find trouble there. I chose a mission where you have to disable an emplacement power grid. Where is it? Well, okay, you have to remove the filter now. So we go back to, well, realistic, whatever. And this is the place. 2 jumps away. Maybe I'll find trouble also along the way. Everything is resupplied. Okay, time to launch again. Also, the graphics of the space station is very cool, as you can see. Here it comes. What was the... Yeah, you have several views. That is me. This is the inside of the ship. If you believe it, I was deploying my weapons. Yeah, I was deploying my weapons, and that tends to make people nervous inside of the ship. I best not do it again, ever. Let's go. Auto launch deactivated. And here you can see the orbital structure we were in, with all its living quarters. Basically, it's a big garden. These are some of the more cool looking ones. You have to clear from it to engage hyperspace, especially since it's so big. Now, as I was saying, in general, simulators are very cool in VR, every single one of them. I also play a lot of driving games in VR, and it's surprisingly, really, how much they tend to be engaging in VR, especially for me that I'm not very good with them. I still enjoy quite a bit to play driving simulators. Okay, and now we're off to the blackness of space again. Coming to another brown dwarf. This is the kind of stars you can't scoop fuel from. They're basically dead, you see. They already used all their minerals or whatever they are. I wish I was an astronomer. That would be helpful for this guy, to be an astronomer. How many jumps? Another one. If you get close enough to the ring, you can see their agricultural. You can see fields, tractors, and I never did it. I think I always I'm afraid of bumping into the damn things because I did it so many times. There's a lot of different stations actually. Also the small ones, no? My favorite maybe is the one that looks like a service station in the middle of nowhere. It really puts everything into perspective. Makes you feel part of a frontier as you're supposed to be. And here we are. There's a compromised navigation beacon, and also there should be my target. Yeah, it's a settlement on the planet. No, maybe this mission didn't pay much, but I want to show you the planetary gameplay, and especially the car driving with the wheel that I enjoy so much. You will see it soon. Let's also scan the space to look for conflict zones, because sometimes they're actually there, even if the game doesn't tell you from the map. Points of interest, resource extraction. This is a fairly compromised system. Look at that. Compromised beacon and a lot of hazardous zones. You know what they should have in this game? The space colonies like from the Japanese Gundam series. They're also very scientifically significant. They make a lot of sense. The big cylinders kind of like, no? I'm going too fast. I didn't press the correct button. Ah, this is an interesting information. Look at that. There's a small planet orbiting the bigger one with moons of its own. You don't see this every day. Might be worth to explore even after we're done with the mission. Even though we will probably be wanted after I'm done with the mission. What is this sound? What is this beeping sound? No idea. As long as the stream... Okay, it's working. It was coming from my phone. No. The mysteries of VR and space. You put the mysteries of VR and the mysteries of space together, you're bound to find some strange things. This is also an interesting place. Look at that, Moore Relay. I don't know what's the point of this place. They usually have some lore attached to it. But actually, it's my phone. It beeped again. Google survey. Oh, they're intercepting me. What is this? No, really? You're looking for trouble, man. You intercept a Federal Corvette. Okay, if you want to have fun, to me it's okay. Just don't come and complain once you end up
Solid
dead.
copy. Deploying the fighter.
He really wants to die. In a cobra. No, in a butchery counts.
Link established.
It's
Awaiting
also
instructions.
Gulbrush Trefwood. It's not a player, no. For a second I thought he was a player. Because it's so illogical to do something like that, only a player could have done it. And also the name made me think of it. But the players have a different icon. Because actually I'm always online. If you don't play this game, you might not know it. Just fill your weapon slots with pack-hand missile launchers. And you feel like you're not gonna... Well, maybe more like in a Valkyrie from the Macro series then, no? Gunners in general don't use much missiles. They're more beam cannons and melee weapons. At least this is... Maybe the ones from the... What was its name? The more recent series. Gundam Seed and Destiny. Yeah, there they use more missiles. And maybe even then it's sonic lasers, you know. The mecha series with many missiles is actually... That thing is fast. How can it be? But actually, am I moving? There's something... Energy fair insufficient. What is happening? I'm not moving. Something strange. Did I get disconnected again? No, it's just fast. Well, let's chase it with the fighter then.
I'm on it, Commander.
It's gone away. It's gone away. Guybrush Threepwood. The guy that wanted to be a pilot. We were just speaking about that in the Amiga, no? We were speaking about the Amiga. A case in point, someone from Monkey Island comes and tries to intercept my Corvette. You really didn't know what you was doing. Guybrush Threepwood. See, if you give him time, actually he aligns correctly for you to land. And done. You know, gents, I don't think I use missiles much in this game at all. They just don't seem very convenient. You run out of ammo constantly,
Ready to depart, Commander.
and in the end don't even do all that damage. I think the consensus is that you either use the beam weapons for their durability and the fact that they never run out of ammo, that's what I mean, or you go for multi-cannons or cannons like, but the missiles I don't see them used as much. So where is my target? Now, without further interruptions, especially of the useless kind. Yeah, maybe if I target it properly. It's one of the moons of the gas giant. Yeah, here it is. Napier Prospect is the name of the place. Tiny moon, actually. Unfortunately, we're going on the night side. I say unfortunately because the planets look very cool, especially these ones, the one with ice. This is an icy planet, it looks like. Okay, slow down, slow down, slow down. This should do. And now... No, I think I'm too fast, you know. Actually, I still don't have a procedure in mind for doing it surely. It's a bit of a luck thing to me. I don't know if I'm too fast. Shouldn't be. No, it should work. Okay, now 10 seconds, 300 kilometers. It's got a small gravity well, it seems. Yeah, it's only 0.12. Now I can accelerate, yeah. I think. I hope. I hope I'm not messing up. At around 100 kilometers in general I drop down. And I should enter the descent. Too bad it's night. It looks so spectacular when it's day. Yeah, 26 kilometers to the atmosphere. No, actually to the ground. And now descending. No, before they added the night vision in the game, to do these missions at night was actually almost impossible. Now at least once you get to the ground you can see. 33 kilometers to the objective. I cannot even tell the horizon from the night sky. Okay, but I see the objective. Unfortunately I came down a bit short because I couldn't see anything and I was a bit scared. But it's not that far. Napier Prospect is there. This is another game that could use the zoom, huh? To be able to zoom and look at things from close by would be cool. Unfortunately, everyone seemed to think at the beginning that zooming in VR was bad and it would make you dizzy. Actually, it doesn't at all. I use it constantly in Sturmovik and it doesn't bother me. So maybe I'm strange like that. Okay, 15 kilometers to Napier Prospect. And it's supposed to destroy its power grid, right? Disable the emplacement target. Yeah, for a shitty payout. Well, it will help with reputation at least. I wanted to show the planet gameplay, that's the thing. 9 kilometers to it. When I'm about 3 to 4 kilometers, I will land with the car and go and destroy the thing. Yeah, more or less like this. I have a bit of inertia here, so let's turn to one side. Yeah, I know. No, you're not supposed to. So the gear is here. Luckily, it's not a very hilly planet, actually not at all, because otherwise it's a bit hard to find a landing spot. Unsuitable, but this is suitable. Yeah, more or less. Let's just... I think my vertical movements are inverted compared to what I use in the games usually. I don't know when I set up these controls. So I have to push the joystick ahead. Okay, landing. And now on the ground. So let's release the car. And look at the cool part. What my setup does for me when I'm doing this. Because actually I can just switch to the wheel and drive the car. It's too cool. I love it. I would play this game all day only for that. And there's something strange though, sometimes the false feedback works, sometimes it doesn't. Actually now I have no recentering of the wheel. Kinda sucks. Still playable, but it kinda sucks. And actually with a wheel, this thing is drivable more or less, because they want you to drive it with the joystick. But it's very, very twitchy. I only use the joystick for pointing it in various directions once I'm in the air. This is the brake. So where did I set the actual booster? This inverts the direction. This is the brake. The booster is not here, not here, not here. I remember, yeah. The twisting of the pedals, actually. The twisting of the pedals. The U-axis makes you boost. It's a strange thing I devised. You have to remember about it. Okay, so you're supposed to go like this. You don't touch the throttle. Yeah. And this makes you boost and you drive with the joystick. That's the point. I don't even remember what I do. Ooh, what a spectacular sight. The big planet is just above the horizon. Okay, let's go to this settlement. Ooh, the big rock. No, but actually you just press the brake, you go also backwards. Okay. Whoa! You can see the big tower of this settlement. Whee! Excuse me for the sounds, it's just too cool. Settlement power grid. Already I am targeting the correct thing. I think the turret is operated from this button. Yeah, I remember it correctly. You can actually drive with the wheel and do the turret thing with... Yeah, but it's kinda hard, as you can notice. And I don't think you can control your orientation while you're in the air, unfortunately. You cannot yaw, so to say. 700 meters now to the target. Depending on the type of settlement and the level of security, sometimes it opens fire by itself as soon as it sees you. Other time it waits for you to do the first hostile act. So let's go in there and see what happens. I think I can safely reach the settlement power grid. It doesn't seem hostile yet. No. I think they should see it. They should review their programming on these places, because when an enemy commander comes here, there's only one thing he can want to do. And actually they don't know you're an enemy yet. Well, okay, this has been easier than anticipated. I'll just put everything to the weapons and shields and start firing on the thing. No, actually, when you destroy the power grid, for some reason the turrets still work. Doesn't make sense, but it's the way it is. So 1 and 2. Oh, he destroyed my shield. Is he dead? Yeah. So wait, because we can earn a bit more from this. I think I can scan that thing over there, for instance. And the turret is here. Yeah. I think they pay you from the data that you can extract from there. Indeed, it's a data point. I mean, if I'm a criminal, let's be a criminal all the way through. Data point reset time. And there's another one there. The shields have come back online. Ooh, I'm turning too much. No, what's this? Operation Terminal. I don't even know what it does. Let's interact with it. OpNet accessed. No idea. Maybe I'll get money from it. And I think I might already leave. Unfortunately, there are no enemies. There is nothing. It's a very low security kind of settlement. Ah, there's another data point there. Wait. I will steal also from that. Yeah, there's nothing happening at all. Very easy mission. Didn't pay much also, and that's the whole point. Ah! It's changed the intensity of the alarm. Are we really sure no enemies coming out of this place? I think there's another thing I can scan. That thing there.
Handbrake is on.
Ah, I put the handbrake. Oh my god, how do we remove the handbrake?
Drive assist on. Drive assist off.
Huh. I did something stupid. No, it's disabled, okay. Cannot I scan this? Yeah, with the turret, maybe. No enemy coming. And this, while we're at it. Terminal accessed. And terminal access, and I guess that's enough. Let's go away. I might even look for some minerals while I'm on the surface, which are always come in handy eventually. I will go towards the ship in the meantime, but actually the ship has left, I think, because the AI does it after a while. I'll have to call it back. Or maybe I even sent it back when I was fumbling with the controls. That's a possibility. Well, let's just do some racing along the surface. In any case, I have to get away from the place before calling back the ship. Otherwise it won't come. Oh, I hate this thing. I'm also in analysis mode, which is wrong. How do I go back to... I think I have it set on some button here. Yeah, back to combat mode. And you know how the scanner over there works? It's a bit like the one from the movie Aliens. It shows you, it pings when there are things of interest. And it's completely randomized, and sometimes you find useful things with it. I hate these rocks. Yeah, my control of the car could be better. I'm a bit out of habit with it. It's not a very interesting planet, it seems. But there is something showing up on radar there. I will start calling the ship so we have it on the ground. Well, actually, yeah, there's a metallic meteorite here. Look at this. I wonder what it will have. It's got sulfur, which is not bad. How do I open my... Yeah, cargo scoop, like this. Material sulfur. Material is good, I think. Yttrium. Yeah, it's around 4 or 5. I think the ship has came out of hyperspace. Yeah, here it is. We will go to it after I pick up all the good stuff. What did I get in? Some more yttrium. Yttrium is good, isn't it? I think I found something very good, actually. Tungsten. And zirconium. By the name of it. You want to have it. Wonder if there is more around here. Maybe... Wait, the ship can wait. We find a valuable meteorite field. That could be worth more than the mission itself. That's a bronzite chondrite. I don't even know how to pronounce it. This is certainly worth as much as the meteorite, but let's look at it nonetheless. Just iron. Nah, this is crap. I use the iron to synthesize my ammo, so it's still worth picking up. I use quite a bit actually of this. Carbon, nah, this is shit. Yeah, it's a mineral field. It's filled with good stuff, at least in theory, but in practice it's not valuable. Sulfur. Nickel. Nickel is a bit better, I think. Phosphorus. Phosphorus is good. You can use these things to fabricate your engineering for the ship, so they're pretty valuable, not only in terms of money. They're good for the grinding itself of the game. Okay, let's go away. I don't want to stay here, it's not worth it in my opinion. There won't be more meteorites. And here is our nice Federal Corvette. You can leave the scoop open, it makes no difference actually, whether you have the scoop open or closed. I wish I could rotate the thing while doing this, but unfortunately it's impossible. If you hit a rock, this thing goes spiraling in every direction at the same time. Maybe if I hold the wheel with 2 hands. It's too bad because today it's not doing the force feedback. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Actually, you're not supposed to have a wheel to drive this thing, I think. You're supposed to drive it with the joystick. And well, I think we're done here. I should have also headlights on the actual car, but I don't remember how to activate them. Look at the size of the Federal Corvette. It really puts it into perspective when you're coming back to it. It's a freaking huge thing, almost half of a space destroyer, I think. Well, maybe I'm exaggerating, but still it's a big ship. And the light should turn on when you can, board the ship, like this. And board it. So I was actually looking for conflict zones, but since I cannot find any, for now, under attack. Under attack from what?
Power plant capacity exceeded.
No, I should remember. I don't remember how I set the vertical lever. Okay, I'll just boost away from the surface. I think I was under attack from the turrets of the base. Okay, we're back to the sky now. Let's go to the assassination mission. It's an assassination mission for the wing, which means it will be harder, and this is cool, so let's try it. Nothing that could put a Corvette into danger. I hope. Actually, I put myself into danger with the squad assassination missions, even in this ship. It's that difficult. But let's try. It's more fun, no? Also for the stream. The base is attacking you because you're in the free space zone. You're right, that's what happened. You are, of course, right. And let's go to the famous LP634-24 system. Very fascinating name. I wonder which mythology it comes from. Maybe should I say numberology. Okay, already detected the mission objective. It's close to a planet? No, to a star. Also, I received a message. Let's see what it is. Nav beacon scan complete. Your target's last known location is LP63424. Well, okay, this is where I am, but where in particular is it? This seems like a good occasion to actually use the system scan function. So, do you know about this? This is actually a rather new function. You scan the system and you listen to sorts of interest. It's very cool and sort of scientific to boot. Because it's kind of the way real radio telescope works, or at least it feels like it. You can listen. In VR it's even better. You can hear the sounds coming from you at the various points of interest, and I think that is the target. Mission target, yeah. Threat level 6, well, it's a much higher threat level than what I was doing previously, so maybe it could turn up interesting. Let's go there. Not even 2000 light seconds, won't take long. Why am I always in scan mode? No, I want you in combat mode, ship of mine. I'm also low on fuel because I didn't scoop. Well, okay, I shouldn't end up without fuel. Threat 6 it says, huh? I will be on the edge of my seat, I think. Can be dangerous. Still, when you're flying such a big ship, actually, you are never suppressed, so it takes just a little while to escape. Well, you can always escape unsuppressed if you boost to a different system, but this way it's even quicker. Let's test the power of the Federal Corvette. Now this is more difficult because usually the target is in a wing, so when you start to attack him everyone comes at you. It's not the same as the actual conflict zone I wanted to play. But it will be engaging, I swear. What a disappointing base, to have not even one enemy in it. A ship intercepting me, whatever. Still, the meteorite was worth it, I think. These were valuable materials. Okay, threat 6. Sounds fun. 6 seconds to it now. Let's see how quickly I have to run away, yeah? Because I'm absolutely not risking this ship. It costs far too much for me to lose.
Copy that. Establishing telepresence.
Okay, which is usually the target is in something combat oriented, like this Ferdinand's here. And indeed it's the mission target. So I'll do something that has worked well for me previously. I will tell the fighter to attack first, so he gets distracted, and then I go straight for the throat, and let's see what happens.
I've got no cover here. Diverting power to shield.
He's in a wing of 3, huh? I have to kill him the fastest the better, lest I risk him escaping while I fight the other ones. Luckily he's completely distracted by the fighter. You see how stupid he is. Actually everyone's shooting the fighter. I will die the next 3 seconds.
Suffering catastrophic damage.
Yeah, the fighter is gone. Putting everything to shield and weapons. Firing the cells, firing the countermeasures. Firing the heatsink also, because otherwise I would overheat very quickly. And now let's boost ahead and try to chase the lands. I won't care for the other ones, I want to kill the target first. His shields are almost depleted. That thing doesn't have good armor, so he will die very soon once out of shields. Is he going away? What's he doing? No, here you are. Luckily, it seems his friends aren't very effective at depleting my shield. Actually, they're doing almost nothing to me. This is good. I also fired the cell, mind you. Okay, all three of them are shooting me, but he's mostly trying to evade. If I ram him, yeah, he's almost dead, I bet. No, actually, he's holding well. Okay, fire another cell just to be safe, even though maybe it's not needed. Again, sliding away without the, what's his name, the flight assistance. Unleashing the power of the incendiary multi-cannons again. Now also railguns. And his health is half gone now. Doesn't have much to live. I'll fire another cell. I see my shields are starting to deplete. Better safe than sorry. And also when I fire the cell, I also fire the chaff. So I have the time to replenish my shields without danger. 53%, 52%. Come on. Doesn't want to die. I could even deploy another fighter. Actually, I have two of them. Honestly, I don't think it's even worth it. It doesn't seem like that much of a risky situation. It is certainly a fight, unlike what we faced up to now. It is a fight because they're fighting, kinda. Deploying more countermeasures. Maybe I spoke too soon. Now they started to damage me suddenly, yeah? I must not speak too soon. Let's concentrate on the battle down. I wonder what the other things that are shooting me even are. I didn't bother to check. Luckily, they're not as big as him. Or in any case, not as damaging. Otherwise, I'd be in trouble already. Because he's holding up well and doesn't want to die. I'm actually running out of cells, I think. Come on, 5%. He's very good at evading, that's the thing. Overheating a bit. Oh, come on, he's almost dead now. The fact is that even with dirty engines, he turns better than me. Dirty Dry, what's his name? The modification for it. Okay, and the other two things were actually smallish things. What were they? Just vultures. Just vultures. That's the reason I could do it. Look at these suckers. Attached to my butt the entire fight and eating it like crazy. You know what? I don't care about them. Let's just go away. I completed the mission. We'll take ages to kill two of these. I opened the cargo scoop. What's this? Close the cargo scoop and boost away. Who cares? I don't want to waste my time to kill two cobras, two vultures, and then go all over. It would take ages. I completed the mission. That's good enough. They can cry over the body of their commander now. Well, they cannot, because it's been fragmented to 1,000 pieces. And I'm kinda out, also got damaged quite a bit, but just from the temperature. Tell you what, let's go and resupply. Maybe I'll find also some interesting mission in the stations of this place. There are no stations big enough to accommodate my ship. And what about settlements? Neither. And then we're going somewhere else. Let's go where the mission takes me. Well, let's go cash in the money from the assassination, I guess. No, I might as well. Since I have to resupply. Boosting there and resupply. Then I'll make another attempt at looking for conflict zones. There isn't any here. It's actually loading the system. Sometimes you can tell you're actually... Ah, look at this. Mission identified source. Ah, it's still the massacre mission. Well, let's do it on the way. I mean, before landing, I kill this and then I land. You can actually tell if a player is in the system, which is kinda rare because there are thousands and thousands of them, but if you meet a stray player just by pure chance, it's going to take longer to load when you jump from a system to another because he has to arrange the connection, which is peer-to-peer, I think. It's like Dark Souls. Also in Dark Souls sometimes you can tell there is an enemy about because it does that. Not technology is perfect, not technology. This is a threat tree, it's very easy. I hope there's a base also on that plane. On that planet, or maybe space station, whatever. We could even land on a different planet, maybe. But I would do it for a mission, at the very least. You can also turn on bandwidth stats. The enemy uses more bandwidth when there's another player. You're right. You're right. These are all very useful tricks you're telling me about. So thank you. Same planet as before. Well, of course, we're back in the same system. Very easy fight. No, but it's easy because they don't attack you at the same time. That's the difference. When you're fighting 3-on-1, it's actually even with the Corvette, but otherwise it's just boring. You know what? I don't think they're yellow. It's just the yellow light coming from the planet that makes them. The yellowish tint, sorta like. Ah, is that already? Don't waste my time. Maybe the Anaconda? Come on, tell me the Anaconda is an enemy. No, progressive party. Just the tiny ones, just the eagles. I won't even fire the cannons at him, just the multi-cannons. And also nimble, no? So it makes you waste time, actually, when you have to kill these tiny things. Squall Leonard. Oh, what is this? They put game names in this universe. Now we have a name from Final Fantasy. Earlier there was Guybrush Threepwood from the Monkey Island series. It's something new. I never met this kind of naming in the game. Must be a new thing. Also Stalker could be from the game, the famous game Stalker. And by the way, guys, Stalker in my opinion is 10,000 better than the Metro series, but this is maybe a personal view on the matter. Because it didn't get enough sequels in my opinion, and everyone is heads over heel about the worst one of the two actually. They're even making a Switch version of the latest Metro game. In my opinion, Metro is a bit boring. It's based on the plot of the game, no? There is much less interaction, and also the firefights aren't as good. Whereas Stalker actually, in my opinion at least, is a better Fallout. Okay. And he's gone. What else? Maybe the Viper? What's his name? Humboldt. Doesn't sound evil enough. I bet he's not evil. In fact he is, and he's also part of the mission, so he has to die, and sorry Mr. Humboldt. Humboldt was a scientist from the 17th century, am I wrong? Yeah, I think one of the first students of particles, cell structure, something like that. He was an important scientist. So it makes sense for a guy named Zinc Boy to have a ship named after a scientist of the 17th century. And he's gone. It's actually very disappointing what I found out today. I didn't have it deployed, the fighter. That the community goals seem to be no more, because it's so nice to play in populated systems, but without a community goal, how are you even going to find people? Maybe I should join a squadron. That's probably the only way I can keep playing this thing with other people now. I guess they're diverting the resources somewhere else. Like the stupid Zoo game that they were doing. I swear, guys, when I saw the same developer as this was producing was it a Zoo or Theme Park game? No, maybe they did both. Instead of working on Elite, it made me feel really bad. I know, probably this game have their followings, they must be cool in their own right, but why don't you work on the actual strong thing that you have? I created the latest one on principle. Not gonna get it through the Epic Game Launcher. You did the right thing, man. You did the pirate thing. No, I'm joking. You did what you felt, I guess. No, but it's a good game. I just don't like the very plot-oriented games myself. I prefer more action from them. Contact request talking. It's full of pirates in the stream, both in the game and outside of it. We best made some distinctions on the various levels of piracy. Okay, good luck on your job interview, man. Good luck indeed. Thank you for commenting and stay with me. Ciao! Very appreciated. The ciao was for a person that just came back to the house. But by the way, ciao also to you. Is that a train emoji? The emoji look kinda strange in my chat box because I have the inverted color, and apparently it also inverts the colors of the emoji. But I can tell it's a train. And touchdown. So let's resupply, cash in the various missions, and maybe look for another interesting mission of some kind. $1 million or Strange Wake Solutions. No, these are easy to farm, go for the money. And also I completed the other mission here, disable the grid. Well, it pays shittily, 610. Let's go with the reputation and influence, maybe it will come in handy. Yeah, rather than getting that little money. And also I think I have some bounties too, yeah. 1,006,000. And now we're big friends of the station, I bet they'll give me good missions, let's see. Boom time delivery. No, don't make me do deliveries. 19 millions, look at that, you only have to kill 54 pirates. I did this kind of thing sometimes, they're not impossible with the Federal Corvette. Let's filter by combat in any case. Massacre Raiders, 4 million. Just 10 pirates, this is very good. 4 millions for 10 pirates. Disable the mega ship turret. This brings me to an actual conflict zone, and this is just what I wanted to do. Let's go to the conflict zone. I think. No, I'm not so sure now that I think about it. Probably it's not a conflict zone, it's a different kind of mega ship. The one they added in the newer version of the game. I wanted to go... These are called capital ship is what I'm thinking about. I'm looking for conflict zone missions. But I don't think there's any here. Unfortunately, it's very peaceful today. Ah, the guy... No, this is the trading screen. The last guy in station actually had a slightly better reputation. Industry needs, smuggle, disable the mega ship turrets again. They really hate their mega ships here. I'll tell you what, let's do it. Might be interesting. I never did this kind of mission. Disable the mega ship turret. I hope it doesn't make me want it. Also, how far is it? 3 jumps. Okay, it's doable. And what about the pirate hunting mission? Where I'm at with it right now? 1736. Wait another 5 days. Ah, no problem, we can complete it 100%. No need to do it now. Ooh! This is something that has happened to me other times. I mistakenly pressed the pedal and that made me boost right into the station wall. Good thing these things are very, very sturdy, otherwise I'd be in trouble now. What do you want?
You have entered the station
I got
without
fined.
authorization.
Don't worry, it's all within the scope of reality. 3 jumps to the target. Let's see this mega ship of theirs. Maybe I'll meet a conflict zone along the way, that's actually what I wanted to do. I swear I've never seen the galaxy so peaceful as today. I wanted to do war and only war, and there was no war. Look at the fuel you burn in this ship. Even though the tank is big, it's heavy, it's big, you see. You always risk running out of fuel in this game. Which is the reason there is actually an helpful player faction. I bet you know them if you play the game. They are now the fuel rats. You can go on their forum and request for support. They will bring you fuel if you're stranded. And that's actually very important because, as I said, if you lose your ship, it costs a lot of money. And really a lot. Kinda ruins the game, if you ask me. You can never run into risks. I mean, I understand the kind of dynamic they were going for, but it limits the kind of gameplay you can experience, and also, most of all, it limits PvP. Everyone is very afraid to do PvP because it costs so much to lose your ship. As soon as the shields go down, everyone runs, and you never fight to the death. And that's very detrimental to the game as a whole, in my opinion. Okay, this is another good scoopable star. Let's replenish our fuel, at least a bit.
Warning, temperature critical.
Going to the system of Dane, where the target apparently is. I'm not looking for conflict zones though, wait a second, I said I wanted to do it, but then I forgot. Points of interest? None here. So let's go to Dane. Disable the mega ship turret, it says, huh? I bet you have to shoot them. Must be like that. I think it will make me wanted. I never done this kind of mission, first time for me. It's one of the newer ones. As I said, I'm a bit of a returning player. So, where is the target indeed? Since we don't know the location of the target. What does it say in the mission description? The Dane system. Locate and disable the turret power grid. Ah, there's a name of the mega ship, the Sanchez class researcher. In the system with Dane. What's a mega ship? A point of interest? Good question. Let's try to use the scanner. Maybe I'll find it like that. I just love pointing the telescope at things. But I see no target. Encoded emissions. Encoded emissions. Encoded emission safe. Well, I don't know how to find the mega ship. I'm scanning the lower rated targets. Or maybe the ships are actually here. Let's try this other spectrum or whatever. A lot of encoded emissions here. Ah, maybe if I go to the nav beacon it will tell me where. Let's try to do just that. This seems useless. So the nav beacon is very close when you come into the system. It should be one of the first targets. And actually let's just go by points of interest so I can find it. Okay. Did I receive some message about this? No. How to find a mega ship? There's also an unauthorized installation. I think you can find a lot of bounties there. Used to be part of a community goal I did. And at the time everyone went there. We made a killing. A lot of money from that place. That's worth investigating also, in addition to the mega ship. Okay, scan the actual beacon, which is over there. Used to be doable like this, no? You could find things by scanning the beacon. I don't know if it's still in the game. System data downloaded. Nothing of interest. I see many landable planets, but not the slightest sign of a mega ship. ZME 285 Sanchez class researcher in the Dying system. Well, be a bit more specific, it's a big system. Let's go towards the planet. Could work. Which is the closest one? It must be somewhere, no? I bet it's big. As soon as you get close to it, it should show up on radar. This is the closest planet that we have. Big multi-moon system. Convoy dispersal. One minute to it. There's another planet there, there, and there. You know what? I might even Google it after this planet. I'll Google it. How do you find the mega ship? Ah, it's this. Here it is. Actually, we found it. It's the one, I hope. It's not signed as a 285. Yeah, it says. Then why doesn't it show up as blue? That's the reason I couldn't find. That's the actual mega ship. Okay. The Sanchez class researcher ZME 285. It's that. I guess we found it. And why isn't it blue? Maybe because the actual target are the turrets, not the ship. See, it doesn't make sense. I'm discovering a lot of stuff, it seems. I should pass at the external of the rings, because otherwise you go very slow. It's not worth it in general. Even if it's shorter, it slows you down a lot to pass close to the gas giants. So let's clear the rings and then we make the turn for the mega ship. You cannot escape me. Or maybe you can escape me. Where is it? Ah, here it is. Above the planet, actually. It's going to have a bad day, I think. Once a Federal Corvette comes out of compressed space, starts to shoot like crazy at your turret, you wake up a bit suddenly. Maybe you don't wake up at all, considering on how much force I have to use to complete the objective. Never done it. First time I try one of these missions. If I destroy the ship, the turrets also go down, right? So, they didn't specify how much force I should use. Okay, deploy the fighter just because I don't know what kind of opposition I'm going to go against.
Roger that. Initiating SLF deployment.
Well, it's certainly big, but it's a science vessel and apparently has no escort. Wow, is it big? Is this the final boss of the day? Come on, where are the turrets? Maybe you target them with the subsystem. No, because actually it's not a ship, it's like an object. And it's full of escorts, but they're also not combat ships. This might be risky after all. I don't know, I've never done one of these missions. Where are the turrets I'm supposed to disable? These are turrets, for instance. But they're not targets. These are turrets. If I had to destroy them all, it would take a while. No dangerous ships about though, huh? Let me Google it, I don't want to do stupid things. It's not hostile yet in any case. Destroy mega ship turrets. How to disable mega ship turrets? Shooting the turrets doesn't disable them. I thought as much. I scanned one and I got a message saying it was Ecabor. You have to use Recon limpets. Ah. Then I cannot do it. I don't have them. Yes, the turrets are invincible to shots, which is a bit weird. No, I would say stupid. I figured it out later. You have to scan the turrets and then drill down. Drill down. Drill what? Below the turret on another floor. What is he speaking about? Is this even the same game? How do you drill down to something? Let me try and scan the turret. Guys, do you know anything about this type of mission? I personally never done it. Let's remove the weapons. I don't want to attract attention yet. Maybe you need mining tools. You have to drill below the turret. What the fuck does it even mean? I think they're not immediately hostile, but they are pointing at me, huh? What the fuck are you? That looks like a power supply. What is that? A small battery thing. Yeah, but even if it's the power supply, it's the power supply of just one turret. I start to shoot that, the entire ship will shoot at me and I will die in seconds. Let me look at Google again. Go with the small ship, do a scan. But how do you scan that? Yeah, one of the new features that you figured out by ridiculous trial and error. I agree, this game is a bit guilty of that. Guide to the... Oh, this from Reddit is good. Use the data link scanner to scan the structure. Ah, several sub-targets will appear. Fly close to the turret and use the data link scanner again to scan the turret. With the turret selected, view the contacts pane. Should see a sub-target. Select the subsystem. Destroy the turret sub-target and leave. Who is this? Oh, tell me hostiles have arrived. Well, it's a system authority vessel. Now it's making my life a bit more difficult. In any case, it's done with the data link. Let's try. Everyone is scanning me. No, I mean no harm. I'm just going to break this huge mega ship. Don't worry about me. And it's the data link, it says, huh? Okay, I will put it on button 2 of the second. So you select the mega ship and data link scan it. It's not scanning. I think I have to scan the... Ah, you have to switch mode. Yeah, right. Switch the mode. You see, I mean no harm. I'm not even in combat mode. I'm just going in hacker mode. Don't mind me. And I'm scanning, actually, something. No, I'm scanning the system, not... Why must it be so confusing?
Scan detected.
Everyone is scanning me now. Excuse me, what the fuck? And it says, you scan the ship. Which part of the ship? It's freaking huge. Use the data link scanner to scan the structure. You must be fairly close. Closer than this. I have to bump into it. I guess that will also scan it. It's not working. It's not working, and also, guys, I'm unfortunately running out of time, I'm afraid. So this will probably have to wait for the next stream. You know what I'll do? I will disconnect right here, so that when we start the stream, I'll be ready to try and complete the missions. I will watch a tutorial in the meantime, so I can do it. In any case, it's been a fairly profitable session. I did the assassination, which had a good battle. We did the pirate hunting. We didn't do the conflict zone, and this also leaves something interesting for the next stream. Because apparently this is a very peaceful sector of the galaxy that has a lot of strange, confusing Sanchez-class researches that have to be studied via tutorials. This afternoon, if you want to be here in about 5 hours or so, I will probably play one of the playing games, presumably War Thunder, that I haven't done in a couple of days. And that's a very cool game to do in VR also. I don't know if you enjoy the flight simulators of the earthly kind. Now you can see from my own eyes and see what I see. Basically, this is my hand and keyboard. I hope you will be there. As always, it will be my pleasure. I hope you also enjoyed. If you did, follow the page. And in the meantime, ciao from Italy. We're doing Elite again in the next days. I'm having fun with it. Again. Ciao, ciao.